North Bay, Ontario, where Jamie Cooey skipped the Northwest Territories to a silver medal finish, losing in the final to none other than Swift Current's own team Max Kirkpatrick in that gold medal game in North Bay in 2015. Megan Kohler was a member of that 2015 team with Jamie, and Jamie had his twin sister, Carrie Galusha, throwing third rocks that year. So it's a battle to see who can get that roll here early in this first end. Ice conditions were superb yesterday. Nothing but praise from all the players for the work that was done by the Swift Current Curling Club in getting this surface ready. Jason Bratton, the head ice technician here at Swift Current, and his crew did a really standout job to get this surface ready for championship level curling. So it is a draw for two, draw to sit to, but Margot just X on the guard and will sit short of the rings. So it is an open hit now for Danielle Schmiemann. Just rolls out of the rings there with the Jamie just was a little on the high side with that peel attempt. And a big chance here now for Alberta to set up its first end deuce. just a matter of where they're going to place this rock to make sure that there's no double available to Jamie, because he can throw the high hard one when necessary. Evan also has won Canadian championships. He was a two-time Canadian Colleges Athletic Association champion, playing at Concordia University in the Edmonton area. Now makes his living at golf, though. He's a golf pro at Highlands Golf Club in Edmonton. 25 years old. Open draw now to the wide side, just to split the rings as much as possible. Touching this, though. See where it ends up. I don't know if the... Well, it's not an unnatural double, that's for sure. You can see Jamie's taking a look at the angles. And two good outcomes here, obviously. The double would be ideal, but hit and roll behind that guard would certainly be great as well. So a couple of ways to make this shot to neutralize the deuce for Alberta. With that kind of weight, he's clearly trying to take on that double. Must be close. That is, oh, just a great try. Just needed a couple more Wheaties on that, and it would have put that red rock off the rings, but it is going to be an open hit for a game-opening deuce for Team Alberta. Great try by Jamie Cooey. So a pretty solid first end here for Alberta, and it results in this opportunity. Evan Van Amsterdam will play clockwise rotation. Right-handers in turn. Nice control weight. It's up to Page and Benton to keep this straight and clean. Lots of ring to roll to. You won't need it, and it is a hit for two. And it will be Team Alberta that takes a 2-0 lead into the second end. We'll be right back to the Swift Current Curling Club after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The Men of Curling calendar is more than a date provider. Each edition is packed with beautiful images and tons of curling information too. Support curlers and charity by buying yours today at curlingcares.com.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. It is the second end of this morning's Draw 3 game between Team Alberta and Team Northwest Territories. It is Alberta getting that first end deuce, an open hit for Evan Van Amsterdam, and it will be the Territories that has hammer here this morning in the second end. Just 2 games on the ice here this morning at the Swift Current Curling Club. As we head into the meat of the schedule, it is Nova Scotia, Team Paul Fleming, taking on Quebec, Team Pierre-Luc Morissette. It is Nova Scotia that takes one in the first end to take a 1-0 lead. I believe it was a steal. We'll keep you up to date on that game as well. You can always check out the scores on curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard. And it was, in fact, a steal for Nova Scotia in that first end. Reminder as well, thanks to our great friends at Curling Stadium, you'll be able to watch every game of the 2023 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship here on Curling Canada Plus. All 4 sheets here at the Swift Current Curling Club being streamed live on Curling Canada Plus in conjunction with our partners at Curling Stadium. Trying to get that corner guard up to generate some offense as the Northwest Territories. That'll play. Evan taking a look to make sure, wondering if that rock is in fact on the rings. We'll see if that comes into play by the end of the end. But it is Alberta sitting one right now. They're looking to put that center guard up. Paige Papley. Talked a little bit about Danielle Schmieman's international experience. Paige Papley won the 2019 World Junior Silver Medal, playing with Selena Sturmay's team out of Alberta, and also won 3 esports championships representing that great program at the University of Alberta, headed by Rob Krebs. And she obviously put her time at the U of A to good use. She's got a Bachelor of Science in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences. Currently playing women's competition with Team Sturmay, also working for Curling Alberta, by the way. She's the raffle qualifier and safe sport coordinator for Curling Alberta, Curling Canada's 14-member associations. Here's Cole Parsons now taking on the run back. Just going to over curl a bit, but does make the peel. It is Alberta with shot stone, maybe sitting 2. Trying to get that over the center line, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit exposed for Cole Parsons. By the way, works for NAV Canada at Yellowknife Airport as an air traffic controller. Trying to get that to curl over and see if they can, seeing if they could got an inside roll, but it's going to be wide open. Danielle Schmieman will take it on. Keep it on line, see if they can get an inside roll. Just like that. Nice nicely managed shot. Danielle Schmiemann. Although there is a hole there, it did end up right through that port, so Margot Fleming, we'll see if she can take it on. Fun fact about Margot Fleming, who's about to throw, and then in fact, we're not going to see if they take it on, and it's going to be the draw called for Margot. So Margot, by the way, that last name, unique spelling, Fleming, F-L-E-M-M-I-N-G. Right next door on sheet C is Paul Fleming, Nova Scotia skip with the same unique spelling, and as it turns out, Margot's dad also is named Paul Fleming, but no, not that Paul Fleming. Just to be clear. So Margot's trying to play the draw, and it's Nicole Parsons and Megan Kohler trying to drag it into shot position here. Very nice. Mostly buried, but there's enough movement in this ice that I think they can make a pass at it. Danielle Schmiemann should be able to. They're going to just draw right on top of it. Force here wouldn't be terrible for Alberta. Might be a little light from what they were calling, but I don't know. It looks, I think it's right on top. Here's Paige Papley trying to finish it off. I think it's open, but I don't know if they can, well, they'll try it. Maybe seeing if they will curl enough so that they can tap that red stone that was just thrown by Danielle Schmiemann, tap it back enough and not make contact with their own yellow shot stone. So back 8 late is the call. Might be able to get and roll it in behind that red guard as well. Tricky shot, but has some good potential here for the Northwest Territories. Might be a little light and tight, I think. So now, advantage Alberta here. Just looks like a fairly routine, just raised tap, and that will remove the Northwest Territories stone and potentially leave Alberta sitting 3 on Skip's rocks. As you can see, Evan can see all of that red stone that he needs to make contact with. Talked about Evan's golf accomplishments. He won the 2023 PGA of Alberta Pro Junior Tournament, so year-round athlete, this guy. Page trying to get a little late movement. They will lose the shooter, but it does leave Alberta sitting a couple. Both these teams, by the way, have athletes that competed at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship last season in Sudbury. Jamie Cooey and partner Margot Fleming were there. Posted a 3-4 record. And Evan Van Amsterdam and Paige Papley were there representing Alberta and also posted a 3-4 record. Now the final shot for Jamie Cooey is Cole Parsons trying to get that to move in just a little to see if he can roll it over. But it will be wide open and a chance now for Evan Van Amsterdam to remove it and sit two and get that desired force. Pretty wide open here for Evan Van Amsterdam, but it is Paige Papley going to work to see if they can get a little inside flop. Now it's Benton that's going to just keep it online. If they do get that inside roll, and it is Alberta sitting a couple. Not much option here other than to draw full four for Jamie Cooey to get onto the scoreboard, looking at 2, maybe 3 Alberta counters. Last shot here in this second end. Jamie Cooey needing full four. Cole Parsons, Megan Kohler trying to drag it. Looking pretty good. And it will rest on the button. So a big shot there for Northwest Territories' Jamie Cooey. But it will be one on the scoreboard for the Territories. It will be Alberta with a 2-1 lead in Last Rock when we return for the third end after this.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club as we head into the third end of this morning's featured game between Alberta's team Evan Van Amsterdam and the Northwest Territories team Jamie Cooey, and it is a 2-1 lead for Alberta, and they will have last rock in this third end. Been a great response early in this 2023 Canadian Mixed Championship. The city of Swift Current really embracing this event, which you might expect being in Saskatchewan. Of course, big season for curling in Saskatchewan as we prepare for the Montana's Brier presented by AGI in early March over there at the Brandt Center at Regina. Ticket sales been very, very good, and I can tell you there will be a new ticket offer released next week. It'll allow fans even more options of nailing down good seats, particularly for the closing weekend when the playoffs start. But as I say, ticket response has been terrific in Regina, which bodes well for the Montana's Brier. And for all of our events, as you always know, you can go to curling.ca/tickets. That's curling.ca/tickets to get your great seats for Curling Canada Season of Champions events. And of course, our next big event will be the Everest Canadian Curling Club Championships. Will take place in a couple of weeks in Winnipeg. Of course, you'll be able to watch wall-to-wall coverage right here on Curling Canada Plus. Then we'll move on to Vernon, British Columbia for the Everest Canadian Seniors Championships. Once again, Curling Canada Plus will be your place to see all the live streaming coverage from the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. Well underway here in this third end, and it is the Northwest Territories with shot rock. Cole Parsons trying to get another one in there, put the heat on Team Alberta, which has been largely in control of this game. Trying to get that one to curl over a little bit. Just a little bit behind the tee line, so it is a little more of an advantage for Alberta, but it is buried, and Evan knows that the danger rock is that yellow guard, so he's going to have Benton Boychuk Cherney remove it. Benton Boychuk Cherney, 25. He's a former BC junior champion. I believe this is his first time representing Alberta at a national event. He played in the 2015 Canadian Juniors in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Also competing in those 2015 juniors, by the way, none other than Manitoba skip Kyle Kurz. Kyle was a member of the Braden Calvert team that did win those 2015 Canadian juniors in Corner Brook, so they'll be crossing paths here in Swift Current, I'm sure. Tyler Smith, skip a PEI, skipped PEI at those juniors as well. And of course, his current teammate, Danielle Schmiemann, was a member of Kelsey Rock's team that won gold at those Canadian Women's Junior Championships under 21s in Corner Brook. As always in curling, it's a small world. There's so many events where you cross paths. Oftentimes you might not even remember having played someone at a championship in the past. Danielle Schmiemann trying to drag that in, and it is right on the button. Lovely shot there from Benton Boychuk Cherney. So Margot Fleming will be asked to see if she can follow that path right down and lock it on the nose of the shot that just landed on the button from Alberta. Trying to get some late finish here. Very nice result. Going to the other side now with the counterclockwise, her out turn. See if they play the short raise and remove that Northwest Territories stone. Will it over curl though? It does. Hard to say who shot there. I would guess that it's red, but I wouldn't want to put a significant amount of money on it. But the call will be the same as on her first one for Margot Fleming. Clockwise, her in turn. Follow the same path that she threw her first one, and she had the weight perfect on her first one. Another nice throw there by Margot Fleming. Evan Van Amsterdam looking at some angles here. I think the call will be the same as on the first one. Just see if you can hit a little more on the so-called pro side, on the broom side of that rock, and drive it into the yellow stones. Should know the path now, and right away he calls on the sweep. Benton going to work on this. Keep the line. Mission accomplished. And now it is certainly Alberta sitting shot stone. I would say that the Territories are second shot. But now some interesting decisions facing Jamie Cooey. If he hits it on the nose of that rock he just tapped, I think a lot of good things will happen here for the Territories. And if nothing else, it's going to be fun to watch because we know Jamie's probably going to throw this reasonably hard. But I'd say at least, if he gets the nose here, I'd say 2, if not 3 of those Alberta stones will leave the rings. No, he's not going to throw the high hard one, just enough to, again, make a couple go away anyways out of shot stone. Trying to get this to curl a bit. There's a couple gone, and it does, well, again, I'm too close to call. Not sure if who's shot there. I guess would be that it's the Territories. And certainly buried, too. But there is the relatively natural double that's available for Evan Van Amsterdam. That would leave him sitting 2. Got to make it, though. First shot in the third end here for Evan Van Amsterdam. Clockwise rotation, his intern. Right away, Paige Papley goes to work. Now they call her off. Trying to keep it online. There it is. And did that? Yes, it did. It looks like now Alberta sitting 3 after that double. Jamie Cooey looking at a lot of not so nice options here. He's got to certainly move some red stones. Of course, the freeze is a possibility. That's a dangerous shot if he doesn't make it perfect. Cole Parsons is going to come down and have a chat. The one thing I can always count on is Jamie Cooey, unlike other members of his family, will never be in time clock trouble. And it's kind of ironic. Jamie is one of the fastest skips out there as a rule. And Kevin has been known to challenge a time clock or two in his time. This is a big shot. 3 certainly in play for Alberta, and if Jamie doesn't make something really good here. Like the hit and roll is the call here. See if he can get it buried behind that guard. Important shot for Jamie Cooey with his final stone of the third end. Trying to keep it on line. They don't want it to curl too terribly much. Oh, great shot, Jamie Cooey. Wow, that's wonderful. Well thought out, well executed. Now it's decision time for Evan Van Amsterdam. The pick certainly looks like it's there, but they're also looking to see who is sitting third shot. Danielle seems to think it's red. So it looks like it's just draw the side of the button here for Evan Van Amsterdam. What a shot by Jamie Cooey under those circumstances to force a tough response here for Evan Van Amsterdam. Problem with the pick, of course, it was drive it straight sideways into another Yellowstone, so you're really gaining nothing with that. So it would be one either way, and Evan believes that the draw to the cold draw to bite the pin is his better option. But either way, what a terrific, terrific shot from Jamie Cooey. Final shot here in the third end. Evan Van Amsterdam needing to bite the button to get his 2. Button and Page trying to get it there. And wowee, what a shot, what a sweep, what a response from Evan Van Amsterdam. That is a great deuce for Team Alberta, and they will take a 4-1 lead into the fourth end when we come back right after this. Yeah.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club as we head into the fourth end of this morning's featured game at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship between Alberta and Northwest Territories. And just first-class shot making by both Jamie Cooey and Evan Van Amsterdam with their last rocks of that third end, but it did end up being a deuce for Alberta and a 4-1 lead. I'm Al Cameron from Curling Canada here on Curling Canada Plus this morning. A reminder, we'll be back on the air with 2 more draws today at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then again at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, as we have wall-to-wall coverage of the 2023 Canadian Mixed here on Curling Canada Plus, in conjunction with our friends at Curling Stadium. Only 2 games on the ice this morning, and the other game it is Team Nova Scotia's Paul Fleming and Team Quebec's Pierre-Luc Morissette, and they are in a 2-2 tie playing the fourth end, and it is Quebec with last rock in the fourth end. And of course, a lot of eyes on Team Quebec this week as Quebec tries to make Canadian curling history. Teams from Quebec have won the last 3 Canadian Mixed Curling Championships, all with completely different teams all 3 years. Never been done that a team, a province, or a territory has won 4 straight with 4 different teams. And this Quebec team, skipped by Pierre-Luc Morissette, has that opportunity. So we'll be tracking them closely all week. Right now in our feature game, it is Alberta sitting 2. The 2 corner guards thrown up there by the territories. Now an opportunity here for them to use the other corner guard. Play the hit and roll again. Cole just did it the one way. Now he'll see if he can do it the other way. Cole does it again. Boy, that's a great shot. So as we mentioned, there was 3 Red Rocks in the rings now. In fact, there's just the one, and the Territories are sitting second and third. And Alberta's got to get to work here to prevent giving up a deuce. Danielle Schmiemann now. Trying to play the double. Well, that's sort of cheeky. It does, however, remove their shot stone, but it is the Territories that are sitting shot rock, but exposed. So, do you draw open side, or do you see if you can put one behind that guard? And it is open side is the call here for Margot Fleming. Cole and Megan keeping on top of this, and they'll just make sure that it's as even as possible. And that's a great throw from Margot Fleming. So it is the Territories sitting 2. Probably just like to get this on the nose and see if they can exchange a couple nose hits, and maybe Evan will get a shot at a double later in the end. That'll just roll closer to the center. Good roll there too. It does make the double hard, well, impossible at this stage, but Evan Van Amsterdam will play this hit and see if he can roll a little closer to the center line. Just as a reminder, the winner of the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship will play as Team Canada at the 2023 World Mixed Championship, 2024 World Mixed Championship, pardon me, next fall in Aberdeen, Scotland. Try and keep Canada's medal streak alive. 3 golds and a bronze in the last 4 years. Here's the hit. Jamie will get that broom down and see if they can keep protecting this deuce. But so far, a great example of how to use those corner guards, hit and rolls, and not get too terribly bothered by Red Rocks building up in the rings. And that was so far, a well-executed end by the Northwest Territories, sticking to the plan of using the corner guards, Hit and rolls, control weight, and ultimately shot making. That's what it comes down to. Seems like it was a little full of the broom, so Cole's going to try and see if he can get it back online. They got to keep this as shot stone, and that will work out nice. Good sweep by Cole. And they are still shot. Now, Evan Van Amsterdam will take a look and see if he can make the hit and roll. And Sid shot and take this deuce away from the Territories. Or he'll consider it anyways. They will, in fact, play the hit on the open side. I guess the only thought process, wasn't a bad consideration, but boy, if you miss that tight, suddenly you're even potentially somehow putting 4 in play if you somehow found a way to angle that guard into the rings. So giving up a deuce is not a terrible thing. They would still have a 1-point lead and hammer after 4 ends. And that's a good place to be for Team Alberta. Always about risk reward and situations. That'll just roll out, so it will be just a draw, touch the 8-foot. That will get a deuce for the Northwest Territories, and a solid response and a good end from the team from Yellowknife. Last shot on its way. Just keeping this clean. Needs full 8-foot, but obviously Jamie will have higher aspirations. Try and get that into that 4-foot button region just to make sure he's got a good handle on draw weight for if he needs it later in the game. But that'll get the job done. So it is going to be a 2 going on the scoreboard for the Northwest Territories. It'll be a 4-3 lead for Alberta through 4 ends. The teams will take their 4th end break. We will too. We'll be back in a few minutes here at the Swift Current Curling Club.
The Men of Curling calendar is more than a date provider. Each edition is packed with beautiful images and tons of curling information too. Support curlers and charity by buying yours today at curlingcares.com.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. It is draw 3, pardon me, the 5th end of this morning's feature game at the 2023 Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. My name's Al Cameron from Curling Canada. My pleasure to be bringing you this morning's feature game here on Curling Canada Plus at the 2023 Canadian Mixed, and it is Team Alberta, skipped by Evan Van Amsterdam from Edmonton with a 4-3 lead, and the hammer in this 5th end over Team Jamie Cooey of the Northwest Territories, playing out of Yellowknife. 2 deuces on the board for Alberta in the 1st and 3rd end. That 3rd end deuce, a very impressive draw to bite the button by Evan Van Amsterdam after a great hit and roll by Jamie Cooey. But the Territories respond in the 4th with a really well-managed deuce using a couple corner guards and a nice hit and roll, 2 nice hit and rolls from Cole Parsons to generate that deuce to get back into the game and cut it down to 1. But Alberta in control, hammer and the lead here playing in this 5th end. Quick look at the other game on the ice. Just 2 games on the ice this morning here at the Swift Current Curling Club. It is Quebec's team Pierre-Luc Morissette taking a 3-2 lead with 1 in the 4th end on Nova Scotia's team Paul Fleming. And a quick reminder, we'll be back with draw 4 action this afternoon, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern here on Curling Canada Plus. All 4 sheets being streamed live in conjunction with our partners at Curling Stadium. So you'll be able to watch every game, every shot here at the 2023 Canadian Mixed. And of course, you can find all the scores all the time on curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard. Megan Kohler, the lead for the Northwest Territories, looking to use that center guard. Just a little bit short, but not bad. It's certainly usable. But it looks like Alberta is going to want to use it first here and see if they can get a rock in shot position behind those staggered center guards before the Territories. Paige Papley will take a crack at it for Team Alberta, playing out of the Thistle Club in Edmonton. Alberta looking to win its first Canadian Mixed Championship since 2016. Mick Lismore did the trick that year in Toronto. Mick, of course, now the national coach for Curling Canada's wheelchair program. And his wife, Sarah Wilkes, was the vice skip on that team. Sarah, of course, playing for Team Rachel Homan these days. And Brad and Allison Thiessen were the front end. Northwest Territories, as we've mentioned, has never won Canadian Championship. Come close on a couple occasions in recent years. This team, Jamie Cooey, bronze medalist the last 2 years at the Canadian Mixed and silver medalist in 2015. So the hit played by Cole Parsons, trying to get by that guard, does so. Nice clean shot there by Cole Parsons, and it is the Territories sitting shot rock. Good opportunity here, though, for Alberta to sit a couple. Benton Boychuk-Chorney will take a crack at that hit and roll. See Paige Papley trying to get that to curl a little bit, but it'll hit it on the outside and roll over to the open side. And now the opportunity goes back to the Territories to see if they can get that roll. Cole Parsons, and we saw what he did last end, 2 great hit and rolls that set up the deuce. Let's see if he can do it here again. Megan trying to keep it straight. It's going to roll too far, and it will. It does remove the stone, which is the key part, the main job, but does not hold the shooter. Just a little bit of a, just got it started there a bit by Cole, and that does give the opportunity now for Alberta to clear off those center guards. A little bit of scoreboard management here as well. A blank would be a great outcome here as well for Alberta, as they would take hammer in that 6th end. So that's part of the thinking process here, I'm sure, for Evan Van Amsterdam. See if they can get the double peel. Looks like they'll just get the 1, though. So the Territories will play the draw. Margot Fleming, counterclockwise, her out turn, seeing if they can get one buried behind that center guard. Cole and Megan working hard, drag this as far as they can. Will clear the guard, but just come up short of the rings. And again, I suspect, well, no, there will now go for the deuce. I guess anytime you have a real good opportunity to score 2, you'll take it. And those staggered guards were too tough to avoid passing up on the opportunity. So Danielle Schmiemann will play the draw that Margot just tried. Good movement in this ice, as you see. I think that will be a little light and tight as well. So just a little bit of a section of ice that seems to have fooled both teams. Now, a wonderful opportunity for the Territories. If Margot Fleming can make this draw behind that 3-pack of rocks in front of the rings, it's going to be very hard to remove. She'll give this a little extra over the last one, I'm sure. Sweepers seem to like it. Just a matter if they can get it to finish. That's Cole's job now. And there it is. Wow, wonderful shot. The only thing you'd quibble with is it's behind the tee, but still, it does force the hit to see if they can at least get 2 of those guards out of the way. Maybe hear Evan Van Amsterdam say just get a hair high. That'll make a couple go away, if not all 3. There is a chance for the triple here. Big weight here, call for Danielle Schmiemann. So the open hit now following up from Jamie Cooey. Now the blank attempt to follow by Evan Van Amsterdam, and a chance to take that hammer into the 6th end. Working hard though, Benton trying to keep this online, so they roll out the shooter. Mission accomplished. So it is a blank for Alberta, and they will take the hammer in a 4-3 lead into the sixth end when we come back right after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The Men of Curling calendar is more than a date provider. Each edition is packed with beautiful images and tons of curling information too. Support curlers and charity by buying yours today at curlingcares.com.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club as we go into the sixth end. This morning's feature game between Alberta, Team Evan Van Amsterdam from Edmonton, and the Northwest Territories, Team Jamie Cooey from Yellowknife. And it was a blank in the fifth for Alberta. And having that hammer in the sixth end of an eight-end game, that's, the analytics will tell you, that is a big advantage for Alberta. So Northwest Territories will see if they can get a steal here. They got the high guard, and this will be a call for a second center guard, but the crucial element, as we all know by now, is for it to be touching the center line, so it cannot be ticked. Megan Kohler got the job done on the first one, and it looks like she's going to get the job done on this one too. Two nice throws by Megan Kohler. Perfectly in line too. Paige Papley will play another draw around that. First one, as you see, was back forefoot, and that certainly does play to the advantage of the Northwest Territories. Important that this second stone be above the tee line for Alberta. Working hard, trying to get that onto the rings, but it's going to be short. So, as Jamie Cooey, from his perspective, I don't think he could ask for a better start to this end in a quest to generate a steal to tie the game. Two of his own center guards up, and another red one short of the rings that will act as a guard. Certainly raisable by Alberta later in the end if they need to, but big chance here for Cole Parsons to get one buried behind those guards. Gonna pull it all the way to that back one, it looks like, or try to, and it's shot stone, but mostly open. By mostly, I mean pretty well entirely open, and the hit and roll will be the call here now for Benton Boychuk Chorney. Right away, the call is on. It might be a little tight of the broom. Let's see if Danielle and Paige can keep this online. Good sweeping there. Now they're going to try and get it to curl a bit. Very nice throw and a good outcome Alberta was not concerned at all about losing that stone on the back four. But hit and roll chance here again for Cole Parsons. See if they can get this roll. And Jamie slaps his broom a couple times. Just maybe missed the sweep call. Would have had a little bit more aggressive sweeping to try and get some movement on it. And it's wide open. As Benton Boychuk Chorney takes his second shot. Now he gets a chance to make the roll. Page is trying to get that to move over. Same thing, same outcome. Whichever team gets that roll, and you can see they're laughing about it. So the call again is for Margot Fleming. Hack weight, go across the face and see if she can get it buried behind those three guards in front of the rings. Cole Parsons going to work on it. It's looking promising. There it is. Very nice. Just a sliver available, but Evan's not even going to look at that. He's liking the double peel here. It's another great hit and roll by Cole Parsons. He's having himself a game today. Just make a couple of those go away. I don't know if she's going to get more than one. Danielle Schmiemann does make the high guard go away, but it is still a couple of guards on there. It is the Territories in shot position, and Jamie will ask Margot Fleming to replace that high guard. High is the key. Doesn't want it very tight. Make the double, if not triple peel easier. Margot Fleming, who mentioned earlier, she plays for Carrie Galusha's women's team, and as you should know by now, Carrie Galusha is Jamie Cooey's twin sister. Just recently had a birthday, as a matter of fact. Turned 46 just a couple weeks ago. Very nice throw, very nice weight control by Margot. Looks like the same call. See if they can get a couple of those guards out of the way. Sweep is called right away. Paige Papley. I think that's going to overcurl. And once again, it is the Territories sitting shot, sitting mostly buried. Now Jamie, does he play another high guard? Does he think about coming in? Because at some point, you know, Evan Van Amsterdam will say, well, I better get there quick too. So that obviously entering into the thought process. Jamie Cooey now living in Spruce Grove, Alberta. So this is the first time he's played an Alberta team since moving to Alberta. Took a new position with the Gwich'in Tribal Council, which has offices in Edmonton and Inuvik. So he's working both in Edmonton as well as Inuvik, but now calling Spruce Grove home. Still will be able to curl for the Northwest Territories as he tries to compete in a 17th Brier. He'll be in the men's playdowns in the Northwest Territories, looking to earn a trip to the Montana's Brier presented by AGI in March in Regina. And there's Jamie Cooey showing a lovely command of draw weight. Great shot there by Jamie. So now Evan Van Amsterdam looking for a way to remove at least one of those yellow stones in the rings. Yellow onto red onto yellow, so he's got to hit it on the center line side of that yellow stone, pretty much where Danielle Schmieman's broom is. Let's see if they can get the angle on that red to drive it onto that yellow stone that was just thrown by Jamie Cooey. Big shot here for Evan Van Amsterdam here in the 6th end. It's the Territory sitting a couple behind cover. That might just be a little bit outside. Drives it over top. Wow. Just a little bit skinny on that. Now another chance here for the Territories to put up a guard. Or what do you guard? I mean, obviously there's going to be a shot available to Evan Van Amsterdam, so you want to leave him the toughest shot possible. Does Jamie put one biting the button? Half buried right there. Or even just biting the forefoot. And they will take a timeout to consider their options. Again, like we say, I mean, there's going to be a shot available to Evan Van Amsterdam. But Jamie and Margot will discuss how to make it even tougher. The long guard, but that gives a pretty routine draw to the full 4 for Evan to get his 1. So I don't think that's really the play. Do you tuck one in to that button, just kind of half buried, and cut down the scoring area? Play a little split. That's another option. Ultimately, that outturn, counterclockwise draw for Evan Van Amsterdam will be his best option to score. So you want to make that as tough as possible. We saw in the 3rd end when Jamie made a wonderful hit and roll, and Evan had to draw to the side of the button. But so we have seen it before in this game where Evan Van Amsterdam can make a pressure draw. So we'll see what Jamie and Margot come up with here to make that last shot as tough as possible. And boy, a steal here would be huge for the Territories. Another well-executed end by Jamie Cooey and his team from Yellowknife. That deuce they got in the 4th end, pardon me, really seemed to galvanize them, and they had a chance to talk about it at the 4th end break. And they've put together a nice solid end here. I think the call is sort of just a little bit of a split. Just make contact with that yellow rock that is splitting the center line. And then essentially form a wall around the top of the forefoot. Trying to get this to curl a little more. And there it is. So nothing really great options-wise. I mean, obviously Evan can see portions of 2 rocks and entirely one of the third. But how does he score? How did he make all 3 go away and somehow bite a piece of that forefoot? He's looking at coming off that one that Jamie just threw really skinny. Just touch the edge of it. See if he can roll it into the rings, but in a lot of ways, only giving up 1 to the Territories might be a great end here. Great result by the Alberta team after really 2 good shots by Jamie, and Margot made a dandy one on her last one as well to get this position set up. Scoring is going to be awfully hard here for Alberta. So he's just got to make bare contact with that stone just to the left of the broom of Danielle, or depending on which angle you're looking, on the overhead, just to the left of Danielle's broom. Maybe an 1/8 of that rock, if that. And then that'll bang onto the rock to the right of Danielle's broom in the overhead. And maybe spin onto the 4-foot circle to score. But scoring here would be a great outcome for Alberta. Final rock, 6th end underway. And it will spin out, and it will be a steal of 1 for the Northwest Territories. Great end by the Territories. They tie it up, and will be a 4-4 tie as we go into the 7th end when we come back right after this.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes 1. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. We're in a tie game, and it's just been a dandy this morning here at the Swift Current Curling Club between Team Alberta and Team Northwest Territories. It will be Alberta with last rock here in the 7th end, but that last end set up by 2 great guards by Megan Kohler, high and tight, 2 center guards, and it looks like she got the high one right this time. Jamie's not going to go to the tight one this time. He's going to ask her to come right on top of that Alberta stone that was thrown a moment ago by Paige Papley. But very well executed steal there by the Northwest Territories, and it was set up by 2 guards by Megan Kohler. It's really been Obviously, Jamie closed the deal with a couple good shots at last end, but this front end of the Northwest Territories, Megan and Cole have had a very, very good game. But this one, as soon as I say that, looking a little warm. The call was to freeze on top of that redstone, but that's going to go to the back 8. And Alberta with hammer. Sitting Shaw Rock. Paige Papley, we'll see if she can get another one in there. The other game, by the way, only 2 games on the ice here at the Swift Current Curling Club. It is Nova Scotia getting a deuce in the 5th end. And they now have a 4-3 lead. Team Paul Fleming out of Halifax over Quebec's Team Pierre-Luc Morissette. And it is Quebec with the hammer. Taking a quick look over there. They do have Shot Rock right now as we get ready for Skips Rocks. Of course, you can watch that game. You can watch both games at once, in fact, on the Curling Canada Plus and the Curling Stadium platform. All games here at the Swift Current Curling Club being streamed. Giving fans across the country a great opportunity to watch our best mixed teams compete for the right to call themselves a Canadian champion. Trying to get it by that guard. Will it split the wickets, though? And it does. Ouch. Tough miss there for Cole Parsons. Nevin was considering peeling off that top guard, but looking at some things, they'll play a little bit of a split and see if they can maybe move that Yellowstone that is at the back of the house back a little further. Not sure it's causing them too much in the way of aggravation, though. Peel brings the blank into play for sure. And I think Alberta wouldn't mind the blank here, but of course, they'll take 2 anytime they have a chance. Looks like a little bit of a split, I think, is the call. Drive that red onto the yellow. So there it is. It's going to be a raise takeout on that yellow one at the back. Roll the shooter over to the side and sit 3. See if they can hold that one at the back. Jamie Cooey working on it. And it just does spill out of the rings. So it is Alberta sitting 2. Jamie will ask Cole Parsons to make a play on that shot stone. Possibly see if he can get a little inside roll. Indication from Megan Kohler is it's a little warm. They like the line, though. Is it going to be on that? Oh, just gets by the guard. Hard to believe that could overcurl, but is it going to jam? Does not. It just didn't have enough weight to push it to the back of the ring. So now, and it's sitting open. A little bit of an overcurl there, and based on the way they were calling that early in the delivery, it didn't seem like an overcurl was possible, but there it is, and now a chance to sit 3 for Alberta. Both these teams 1-0, won their opening games yesterday. Paige Papley working hard to keep this online. Great sweep there by Paige. does open the door for a double, or what does Jamie think about here? Well, Jamie's going hard for the steal. The center guard, tight center guard is the call. Jamie's basically saying all in on the steal. Might be a little light. They need to get this as tight to the house as possible. I don't even think that's going to get by their their high guard. It won't. A little light there from Margot Fleming. Now, Alberta, we're looking at removing both of those guards. It'll be a pretty good position here on third rocks, as they'll be sitting 3 with no rocks in front of the house for Northwest Territories to hide behind. Danielle Schneeman. They'll leave one up there, so we'll see if Jamie calls again for the center guard. Or he'll play the double maybe. Yep, I think that. Double is the call here from Margot Fleming. Tried to get the roll, but it is going to be open. Danielle Schneeman will see if she can get the hit and sit 3. Key right now for the Territories, you'd think, is to give up no more than 2. Being down 2 with Hammer in the final end is not the end of the world. Being down 3 with Hammer is a lot closer to the end of the world. Good solid throw there from Danielle. Jamie looking at a couple options, and I think he's going to play the hit and roll and see if it can roll on top of that stone at the back of the 12-foot. Tough shot. There aren't any easy shots available right now. Megan's going to try and see if she can get this to move a little bit, to curl up. I think that's going to be pretty close to the nose. It is. So the Territories sitting second shot, but wide open and available for a hit by Evan Van Amsterdam. We all know that Jamie Cooey will try a double takeout on his last stone, so the key here for Evan Van Amsterdam is to put the shooter in a place. And you talk about, you can see where he's indicating where he wants this to roll. Put this shooter in a place that makes the double for Jamie as hard as possible. Alberta will be back in action later today, 6 p.m. Central Time. They'll take on New Brunswick's team Charles Sullivan. Territories also on the ice this evening. They'll take on BC's team Cameron DeYoung from Victoria. Just a control weight throw by Van Amsterdam, trying to get this roll to the outside. Looks like it's going to be right on the nose. And that is a pretty automatic double, if not a triple, available for now for Jamie Cooey. He's certainly lining it up. Just hit where his throwing device about half a rock on that stone that's biting the forefoot. Right there, you can see Megan pointing it out, or Margot pointing it out. And as triple takeouts go, this one, if you could ever call a triple takeout, that one almost looks routine. If he hits it just on the broom side of that stone that's closest to the center line, about half of that rock, and suddenly the Territories could make an amazing escape. Jamie throws it hard. Must be close. And there it is. What a shot by Jamie Cooey, the triple takeout. And suddenly, from going from an almost guaranteed 2, if not 3, Evan Van Amsterdam is going to have to make the peel to carry Hammer into the 8th end in a tie game. Called and made, but wow, what a shot by Jamie Cooey. And that will take us, surprisingly, based on how it was looking 5 minutes ago, it'll be a tie game. Alberta will have Hammer when we come back after this for the 8th end.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club, when it's been quite a bit of drama over the last 5 minutes, as we thought Alberta was going to be in great shape for a deuce in that 7th end. Then Jamie Cooey came along and made a triple takeout. Now we are in a tie game in the 8th end, and the first 2 rocks would certainly be in the Northwest Territories' favor. They got a high-ish center guard. They've got a rock thrown by by Alberta that is in the back of the house. And now a chance for another center guard. It's going to come into the rings, I think, but still pretty good shape here for the Northwest Territories. If you're looking to generate a steal, this is a pretty ideal setup. Notable, though, that rock, the top rock, is not touching the center line and available to be ticked by Alberta, but doesn't look like they're going to call for that. They're going to come into the house and see if they can get one buried behind those two Northwest Territories stones. This looks a lot better than the first one, and it will come in nicely just to bite the forefoot. Good throw there by Paige Papley. But it is game on. Cole Parsons will be asked to draw into the forefoot behind those guards. Another great example of how good this Swift Current Curling Club ice has been. This is definitely an available shot. You can see how much ice they took. We'll see this finish nicely. How good is that? Very, very nice. And it is in jail, and now really the only option available for the Northwest, for Alberta. It'll be Benton, Boychuk, Chorney looking to get some of those rocks in front of the house out of there. Certainly, they want to make that high guard go away. Big weight thrown here by Benton. Good throw. Peels off the high guard and removes the shooter. Another high guard being called here for Cole Parsons. Right where it was the call, just in front of that Canadian Mixed Championship logo. I'd like this to slow down. Maybe a foot and a half too deep, because it certainly does raise the possibility now for the double peel. If not more results, because that yellow that is biting the 12 just in front of Evan could certainly drive back onto the red that's behind him and then onto the yellow that's biting the button. But I think that's got a chance. Bang, bang, bang. Oof. Not sure that's a great outcome for Alberta. Northwest Territories still setting shot. Got a rock biting the 12, and then that Alberta stone that was just thrown remains as a guard. Now a chance for the Territories to ramp up the pressure even more. They'll call their second timeout. Each team has 30 minutes of talk time, 2 timeouts, 2 90-second timeouts, and Jamie will take that second timeout to discuss where to put this rock that is going to play a crucial role, you'd think, in the outcome of this game. Tie game, 8th end, Alberta with last rock, but the Territories hanging tough. The discussion, perhaps a guard might have been the call, but they're talking about coming into the rings. Margot likes another guard, it looked like, but Jamie was certainly indicating into the rings in the 8-foot, if not biting the top 4, but teammates seem to be liking a guard here. I think that is going to be the call. Jamie is going to call for it into the rings, into the 8-foot, behind the red guard. He said even freezing to his own stone there that's biting the button wouldn't be a terrible outcome, but certainly all about applying the pressure here as Margot Fleming prepares to throw her first shot here in this 8th end. Indication is that this is a little warm, but now they want it to curl. We saw the finish on Cole Parsons' shot a moment ago, and we'll see it again on this. Good spot there, completely buried. Now the Territories do sit 2. Evan Van Amsterdam will line things up. Looks like he's going to make a play on that yellow stone that is at the very top, biting the 12, and see if they can run it into the pile that's in the 4-foot. Danielle Schmiemann, her first throw of this 8th end. Big sweep here by Benton. Oh, wow. Just jammed it hard. And it is still the Territories sitting a couple in the 4-foot. And now the guard will be called just to split that center line. Great opportunities here for the Northwest Territories. Margot Fleming trying to throw the guard, protect those 2-shot stones that are in the 4-foot. And that scoring area is getting awfully small for Evan Van Amsterdam. Don't want this deep. That looks pretty good. Maybe just a little tight. Gets the job done. It is a guard, but certainly I like to think that the run back is going to be the call here. Still a bit of a problem with that rock at the back of the 8-foot that was thrown at the beginning of the end by Paige Papley. You have to think that'll come into play here at some point as well as a catcher. But for now, it is the run back by Danielle Schmiemann. Essentially the same shot she just tried. Did this get started a little inside? Benton's trying to keep it on line, but that's going to curl inside and go off the guard. Just goes from bad to worse for Alberta here. Neither team in time trouble here, by the way. The Territories, as is typically the case with Jamie Cooey skipping, they've got just over 4.5 minutes left to play their final 2 shots. Alberta with 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Alberta has a timeout. So some form of a guard here will be the call here for Jamie Cooey. And it's looking more and more, by the way, like, I mean, there's still that wide out turn, counterclockwise rotation for Evan Van Amsterdam, you have to think that we're heading towards him throwing a draw to bite the button much the same way he did in the third end when he had to draw to the side of the button to score a couple. So we've seen him do it before in this game. We'll see if he has to do it again. Jamie Cooey throwing the guard, essentially just guarding his guard. Looks a little warm. Now you don't want to lock this up. You don't want to set this up for Alberta. No, that gets the job done. Now he can make a play at shot stone here, but I don't think that's the call for Alberta. The key is definitely to remove some of those yellow stones and give himself something easier on the last shot, because you know that Jamie will once again throw up guards if he has to, but there's a shot here. If he gets this on the Broom side, he may be able to make 2 or 3 go away. I don't think the quad is in play here, but I've been wrong before. Didn't underthrow it, but that's not going to curl enough. And just feathers that guard that was thrown by Jamie. And now, what an opportunity for Jamie Cooey here. Which guard does he play? We mentioned it a few minutes ago that it's looking like the only shot that'll be available for Evan will be the draw to the side of the pin. So what does Jamie guard here? And when you look at turning points in this game, you can't look too much further than Skips Rocks on that 7th end. Jamie Cooey, his last shot, the triple takeout that killed what seemed to be a sure deuce, if not more, for Alberta in that 7th end. Jamie Cooey comes along and makes a triple takeout, and that led to the blank and got us to where we are right now, which is tie game. Northwest Territories trying to call a timeout. I don't believe they have one anymore. Cole Parsons was signaling over to the timer's bench, but no, you've taken your 2 timeouts, so it's not like college basketball. Chris Webber calling the infamous timeout in the NCAA final and didn't have any left, and they got a technical foul. You don't have to worry about that in curling. So there's the guard call for Jamie, right on the W in wire form. Just plug that hole that's there, and I don't see too many other options for Alberta other than the draw. The pinhole is available, and we've seen Evan Van Amsterdam do it in this game before. I think he's going to have to do it again here. Jamie Cooey's final shot here in this 8th end. Just a guard. I say just a guard. A guard's not easy to throw to get into the right spot, but there is margin for error here. They wouldn't mind if this rubs over and pushes that side a little more sideways, and that makes the draw even trickier now for Evan Van Amsterdam, and now he's going to take a long look at the scenarios here. That draw is no gimme. The Rays double is there because maybe that we mentioned that first rock of this end thrown by Paige Papley may come into play after all. If this Rays triple is available, that rock could end up being the counter for the win for Alberta. But it's going to take a magnificent shot from Evan. He's not even looking at the draw. Not sure what I'd be doing in this position. I mean, the draw's not a gimme. The Rays takeout's not a gimme. Just not sure that the angles line up perfectly. And if they could hold the red rock that's at the back 8 for the win. Just a matter of which angle you want to take here. They are in a timeout, so we know Evan can throw it hard, but now, as I sort of thought right from a while ago, that it is the draw to the side of the button that Evan will take on to pull out this win. We saw him make much the same shot in the third end. This stone will curl. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of weight and judgment by the sweepers, Paige Papley and Benton. Here we go for the win. On its way. Benton Boychuk Chorney trying to drag it in. Line is good. Will it stop in time? It will not. It will not. And it will be a steal of 1 point by the Northwest Territories and a 5-4 win for Team Jamie Cooey from Yellowknife. What a great effort for this team from Yellowknife, and it is a big win here at the 2023 Canadian Mixed Championship. A reminder, we'll be back on the air later today at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern with more action from the Swift Current Curling Club right here on Curling Canada Plus. So for now, this is Al Cameron saying so long from Swift Current.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.